You think you've seen every kind of NBA comeback? Then stay with me. Knicks versus Cavaliers on Christmas, Madison Square Garden buzzing. And the Knicks looked completely asleep, down 17 in the fourth, the kind of game that turns into instant memes. And then, out of nowhere, Brunson starts cooking like the rim is twice the size. Clarkson lights up the bench, and suddenly the scoreboard becomes a thriller. But here's the real question almost nobody asked. What actually broke the Cavaliers? It wasn't just the last shot. It wasn't only the scoring burst. It was one invisible play, one split-second decision, made by a guy most viewers barely noticed on the broadcast. And when you see the replay, you realize why basketball magic happens where you least expect it. Stick around to the end, because this moment changes the way you watch games. And there's a twist. The refs called it one-way live, then the review flipped it. That detail turned the emotional key of the entire game. If you love play breakdowns, drop a like, tell me where you're watching from in the comments, and let's rewind to the moment when everything looked finished. It started ugly. Shots weren't falling, rotations were half a second late, and the offense felt stuck in mud. Cleveland punished every mistake, runouts, corner threes, tough drives through contact. And when you glanced at the score, it felt like the Knicks' Christmas win was slipping away. You could feel the arena getting quiet, that specific silence when the home team tries to answer, and nothing. New York forced looks, missed easy rebounds, and the broadcast tone started drifting toward, this one's basically done. But real comebacks don't start in the highlight reel. They start in stubborn, boring details. One stop, one smart foul to freeze the clock, one offensive rebound that keeps a possession alive. And that's when the Garden started to breathe again, because every bucket suddenly carried double weight. When the deficit shrank from 17 to 12, the energy shifted. Not because the game was already tied, but because the mood changed. Cleveland started to play the clock. Possessions got tighter. The lead stopped feeling comfortable. That's when the fireworks begin. Jalen Brunson flips into I've got this mode. Step back in the lane. Floater over length. A finish through contact. Every make pulls another brick out of the wall. And the moment Cleveland starts sending extra help, Brunson doesn't panic. He reads it. He holds. He drags defenders toward him and releases the ball at the exact right time. Then Clarkson comes in off the bench like a spark to gasoline. Quick pull-up. A no-hesitation three. A drive that forces help and bends the defense. It's not just points. It's pace. It's making Cleveland defend multiple tough possessions in a row. It's tired legs, late closeouts, slower decisions. But here's the layer most people miss. New York's defense stops switching just to switch and starts taking away passing lanes. Cleveland, who looked comfortable all night, begins running sets at the edge of the shot clock. Suddenly, everything is about tiny margins, a clean closeout, a deflection, a loose ball saved before it goes out. While everyone's eyes are locked on the scorers, the comeback is being built by something quieter, control. And that's when Kolek starts steering the game without making noise. If you're only checking the box score, he might not jump off the page. But a point guard isn't just a scorer. He decides where the ball goes, when it goes, and what kind of shot your team is getting. Kolek starts orchestrating the comeback like a conductor. First, he hunts the right matchup and calls the pick and roll on the correct side. When the help comes early, he punishes it with a bounce pass through the gap. When the help is late, he finds the cutter, the corner shooter, the roll man, whatever the defense gives up. 9 assists that aren't flashy. They're surgical. They break the first line of defense and force rotations. And he's not only passing, he's scoring too. 16 points that feel like answers. Cleveland hits a tough bucket. He responds with a quick finish. Mitchell speeds up. Kolek slows the tempo, draws contact, buys time. Every possession sends a message. You don't get to relax. But the play that changes everything isn't an assist. It isn't a jumper. It's defense, late game, against the most dangerous guy on the floor. With just over a minute left, Donovan Mitchell has the ball. The crowd is tense, and everyone expects the obvious. Isolation, attack, whistle, points. Mitchell lowers his shoulder and drives. The defense opens slightly because the natural thought is, this is either a foul or a layup. Then Kolek appears, and he doesn't go for a pretty swat. He goes for the right play. He stays vertical, times it perfectly, reaches at the exact moment, and blocks Donovan Mitchell. Clean. The ball changes direction. The arena erupts. And then the plot twist. The ref calls a foul live. In the moment, it feels like the game is slipping away again. Players complain, the crowd boos, and the momentum seems ready to snap back to Cleveland. But it goes to review, replay, and it's clear. Hand on the ball first. Clean block. The call gets overturned. That wasn't just a stop. It was a psychological punch. Cleveland's body language shifts. Shoulders drop. Communication fades. The next possession gets rushed. On the other side, New York gets injected with pure adrenaline. And with that energy, the ball finds Brunson again. He attacks, creates separation, finds daylight, and nails the go-ahead bucket. Everyone will remember the shot. But the emotional trigger was the quiet moment before it, the Kolek block, and the overturned call. That's why basketball is the best. Games don't swing only because a star gets hot. They swing on the hidden plays, the deflection nobody clips, the box out that steals a possession, the block that flips a team's heartbeat. Brunson was brilliant. Clarkson ignited the bench. The go-ahead basket will be everywhere. But if you want to understand the comeback, go back to that 105 mark. That single defensive play and the review that confirmed it changed the temperature of the entire game. So here's my question for you. What's a hidden play you've seen that decided a game? Drop it in the comments. I want to read them. If you enjoyed this kind of breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And send this to that friend who only watches the points on the scoreboard.